Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to this interview for Radha's Publishing House. My name is Care, and I am your host today, and it is my absolute pleasure to be interviewing Maya the Shaman, who is a multi-published author with Radha's Publishing House. She is in the recently released book of Poems from the Heart and in a few other collaborative books that Radha's Publishing House offers. And today we are going to be discussing her solo book called Infinite Cosmic Records. Welcome, Maya.
Thank you, Care. Glad to be here.
It's so nice to have you here. And would you mind just expressing to our viewers who Maya the Shaman is?
All right, thank you. I'm Maya the Shaman, and I have created a couple of modalities, healing modalities called Infinite Cosmic Records and Lemurian Code Healing. And these have been based from my long-term way of having to do my meditations and having two amazing, wonderful ascended masters that I work with. And that's one of them is my great-great-grandfather, Don Pedro.
Absolutely lovely. And do you mind going a little bit more into detail as to what the Infinite Cosmic Records are?
Sure. Infinite Cosmic Records it's a quantum leap towards remembering your past lives and being able to go very deep into that quantum leap, which means that when I take my clients into a session, it brings the past, the present, or future lives into the situation where their intention is highly needed to establish what they wanted to get out of the session. And so in this book, Infinite Cosmic Records, I have about 18 clients who have spoken about their experience with Infinite Cosmic Records. And in their experience, they're able to tap into their past lives, wherein their guides are able to come into the session. And pretty incredible stories, such as, they can encounter animal guides or any beings that is close to them. It could be, it's amazing because sometimes a galactic being would come into the presence, or their very spiritual guides or angelic realm, or their ancestral lineage will come into the picture, or creator, the great supreme consciousness would come in. So it really depends upon the intention that they would put into the table. And that's how this book has been created, because through the shamanic realm, first of all, I'd like to discuss, what is Infinite Cosmic Records? Infinite Cosmic Records is a shamanic journey, and it is composed of many unique methods, such as hypnotherapy. So I bring them into a hypnotic state of consciousness, where a client will go very deep and enter stages of awakening. So when a client go into this stage of awakening, they tap into a very deep subconscious or unconscious. It goes from the subconscious to unconscious, which is a very deep way of having to connect with the source. And to be able to do this, there's a very specific way on how I bring them to this session. We go very, very deep, but mainly the main thing is to connect with the source of all that is, because this is very important, to connect with the pure source, so that no entities or anything can come in.
Beautiful. I love that. And so from what it sounds like, the book is based off of the sessions that you've had with beings and what they experienced during basically during your Infinite Cosmic Record sessions. And you actually answered one of my questions, because I was going to ask, what can somebody experience during a Cosmic Record session? So you kind of answered that, but if there's anything else that you'd like to elaborate on that.
Really, it depends upon the intention that a client brings into our table. And, each one is different and unique. And so how the energy comes in, because this has to do with energetics, and it has to do with their spiritual connection to the divine. So we tap into their higher self and the divine to be able to bring forth the real essence of what they wanted to bring out in this session. So it is important for them to go into a deep meditation. Like, I guide them through this process, and so we take a deep way where I have to take them into a deep, I would say, some people would get a little bit weary about the way I take my clients, because we really enter a deep state of the earth. I take them to the inner earth, because there's a magic that happens when they enter a very enclosed portal. I would say it's really a portal where they enter, and then there are doorways where I assist them and guide them to go and enter each doorway. And so in each of the doorway, they would discover what's inside this doorway. And so I would allow them to just peek in, look into it, and they will tell me, what they see. And there's good and bad experiences. But the scary part of it, I'm able to take clients out of that experience, because we human beings have multiple lifetimes. We have many incarnations. And in order to be able to understand what is happening in the current life, which follows, past lives follows us into the current life in order to be free from it. So it takes courage to do this. But once you're into this realm, it allows you to peel, layers and layers of old karmic loads, which is really a healing part of this session. When you heal yourself in different layers of your past lives, you really, it's almost like peeling off onions, one layer after another. And then you're able to see better. You're able to have a clearer vision. What's your purpose in life? Without that, we feel kind of lost. Sometimes a lot of people wonder why they're going through the looping of more pain, suffering, and all these things, the unwanted feelings, or unwanted relationships, or even unwanted possibilities. Sometimes people wanted to create a real, I would say, a better part of themselves, either having the best life they could ever imagine, better relationship, and all of this experience that they wish. But for some reason, people get stuck. And we want to clear out those areas of their lives where they get stuck. And so by them understanding what happened in another lifetime that follows them into this lifetime, then the looping effect is released. Then they don't have to repeat the same scenario that has taken place and followed them in this lifetime. And it's really essential that they really understand what's happening in the current lifetime, because the current lifetime is also an expression of their past lives. So we're here in the third dimension, and we're here to work out our karma, and that those karma follows us. And it's essential to really tap into those past lives to clear them out. So when we clear them out, we move higher on a plateau where we're able to create our reality. You know what I mean?
Beautiful. I love that. And that sounds so interesting. I love for me, I work a lot too with the concept, and not concept, with the reality of past lives. And I love that in the infinite cosmic record experience, a part of it is that onioning, that shedding, and that releasing of the past to be able to continue forward essentially in a lighter way for ourselves now and for our future lives. So I love that. And from what I understand, you have a very rich lineage in healing and in shamanic work as well. So how does your heritage and your knowledge of what you've collected help with your practice and influence your practice today?
Yes, it is pretty incredible because my great-great-grandfather is a Lemurian shaman, and he's pretty cosmic. He's pretty unusual in terms of how human beings are created, because he's a galactic shaman and he can fly in the air, walk on water, and open portals. And in Lemuria, I came from the land of Mu, which is, the Philippines is once an ancient center of Lemuria. And there are many, many stories since I was a child where these magical beings exist. And it's only now that I'm able to bring forth this beautiful possibility where I can share it with the public, because we really don't know who we are until we tap into the magic of our higher selves. And through the aid of my great-great-grandfather, Don Pedro, I was able to tap into the galactic realm. And so this is a beautiful contribution that he has given our lineage, because through this, I woke up and I discovered that he lives within me. He lives in my DNA. And I have been communicating with him on a regular basis. And his ways are, you can call it a little strange, because he would tap into the walls. He would knock in my walls and he let me know that he's there. He would knock onto the ceiling, sometimes in my refrigerator. And one time he surprised me. He knocked in my front door, and we have two dogs. And as I opened the door, nobody was there. The dogs were barking, and I knew he was the one. So I had to close my eyes and connect with him. And the message usually come in. So this is how I connect with him. When I hear the knock, I would close my eyes and would listen to the message that he wants to deliver for that particular time. So I have a lot of messages that I have received from him. And I'm actually planning to write another book called Descendants of Lemuria. And in this book, I will talk about Don Pedro and what he has given me and my daughter, messages that he wants us to relate and share with the public. So there's a lot of very mystical instances where he would talk about what our future is and what is happening between the light and the dark, meaning that there is a definite warfare taking place right now, which is, between the dark and the light. And so he wants us to talk about these things. So in this book, in my future book, Descendants of Lemuria, I will discuss this special contents, special issues that he'd like us to talk about.
Beautiful. I'm very excited for that book too. That sounds very exciting.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing the wisdom, especially of your family. That's so beautiful. And thank you also for continuing to honor that within yourself, to be able to continue forward and share it, one, with your future generations and also with the future generations of the world. So thank you so much for that. And would you mind telling our viewers, because we've talked so much about the work you're doing currently, but do you mind telling our viewers about your background and how you ended up getting interested into pursuing shamanic healing for yourself?
Well, the first time I've experienced healing was when I was in Los Angeles. Well, even before that, I was going through my healing process, but it was in the Philippines when I was a teenager that, I experienced awakening. But the actual healing of learning about modalities came to me when I was invited to learn about what healing is in America. And so after I have gone through the process of understanding what healing means, because there's a lot of healers in the Philippines, but what happens is that it has been suppressed because it's a Catholic country now. It's the only Catholic country in Asia. And so, because we have been conquered for hundreds and hundreds of years. And so it has changed the dynamics of how we think and how we view the world. And even the Filipinos themselves don't know about Lemuria or Mu. So for me, being a direct descendant of Lemuria, I'm able to meet other ancient people, the actual land keepers of Mu or Lemuria, where, for example, I met Isa, and she walks me through a deep understanding how her father also is a portal keeper. And she told me a story where her father is the one responsible for opening a portal. This is a mountain that he would open, and within that, it goes towards to the Pacific Ocean, which means that, and within that, deep within the Pacific Ocean is a crystal kingdom of the Lemurians. And these are ancient people of our past, and they were the very first one who are the galactic beings who entered the portals of planet Earth. And so it so happened that I was blessed to meet Isa. And during this contact with her, she has told me other things about how this world is going to shift, and that, it's been known by the elders also of Lemuria that a time will come when Lemuria will rise again. And the Philippines' original name is Maharlika. It is actually the center of Lemuria. And this is where a lot of galactic beings have originally landed when they came to planet Earth, before we were conquered by other aliens and by the dark forces, which ruled our planet in this third dimension right now. But we are shifting and we are moving from darkness to light. So it's really important for us to awaken to this, because this is the time when humanity will have to see the shifting. There's going to be a quantum shift, and we have to cleanse and clear our system of the old paradigm that has been set in motion for many thousands of years. So in Sanskrit, this timeline is called in between the Kali Yuga and Satya Yuga, which is the age of darkness and the age of light. And so we are in between this, and we are very, very close to the age of light. And so a lot of lies has been surfacing, and a lot of new, truth is coming out. And so we are recreating our history, and we are digging up. It's almost like digging treasures from beneath us. And what are those treasures? Those are hidden treasures of our psyche, of who we are, of our DNA. So in Lemurian Code Healing and Infinite Cosmic Records, there is an activation of DNA. And when our DNA is activated, we are actually opening up portals within our psyche and within our soul. And so this is a direct connection to the higher realms. This is your higher soul wanting to go back home, or at least revisit your former home, which is really the universe. The Infinite Cosmic Records is an embodiment of all our karma, past, present, and future. Everything has been recorded. They call it Akashic Record, but in Infinite Cosmic Record, you actually travel directly to those areas of your past lives where you tap into your spiritual guides. This is the beauty of Infinite Cosmic Records, when Don Pedro has assisted me and guided me how to do this method. He actually showed me how to go about this. And this is how I learned Infinite Cosmic Records. It is through his guidance that I developed this modality, Infinite Cosmic Records. And so through traveling between all these timelines and having to go specifically through the timeline that you'd like to connect with, then we're able to access directly that past life. We're able to see ourselves, sitting in specific area or having to experience specific experiences. It's pretty traumatic for a lot of people, but also beautiful for certain people, depending upon their intention. What do you want to bring out of your session? And so this is a very specific request, because as we say, Infinite Cosmic Records has all our records. You can go to your very first time when you were just, a being of light, because we are all spark of light. We came from the source of all that is. We're not newbies. To have a physical body means you've been through it all, And so as we learn through the process of evolution and transformation, we're able to access, and this time is really a very special time, because this is the timeline where the veil is able to be lifted, or they say it's thinning. And so when the veil is thinning, it's easy to access the spiritual part of your being. This is where we're granted access. We're able to go through the portal of our past. We can even see our future lives. And so this is so incredible. And this is the most exciting part of Infinite Cosmic Records. That's why I really wanted to share this book, because when you read stories of my clients, they're able to go into the edge of the cosmos and see themselves standing on the edge, where they're able to see these vastness and infinite, just really blow their minds. And it takes you in a different level of awareness. And once that happened, it created an activation in your consciousness. And it really takes you to a different way of thinking and feeling, because the activation from a spiritual point of view shifts your consciousness and your DNA. That awakening is like, wow, you are never going to be the same again, no matter what you may be thinking in the 3D realm. So it is a beautiful gift from the universe. It is the gift that we are blessed to have, because through that, you really connect with who you are, and you are not just this body, you're a spiritual being that is connected to the source of all that is. And so this Infinite Cosmic Records is a blessing. It's a gift. And when one can experience these sessions, it really allows you to tap into who you are, truly who you are, from a spiritual point of view, not just a superficial, because we go through a lot of superficial stuff in our lives, and we get buried through the superficial daily life that we experience. This experience allows you to really, some of my clients would say, oh my gosh, it's like taking ayahuasca, because it really opens up, something in your psyche that you could never do it on a day-to-day basis, and so I would say that this is a gift from the universe, and this is a gift from my ancestral lineage and Don Pedro. And so it's very, very special to go into Infinite Cosmic Records. So this is what I have to offer my clients. But before I bring my clients to Infinite Cosmic Records, there's a very important thing that I do with them, because you have to be cleansed. So cleansing of the chakras takes place first. And so in the future, I have several students waiting for me, to get certified as a teacher of infinite cosmic records or Lemurian Code Healing. And I have the basic, the advanced, and the mastery program that I'm going to be offering my clients how to go about this. So this is the next level of understanding how to tap into that spiritual healing and shamanic realm that is very much needed, because it's a combination of the ancient Eastern way and the modern way. And through this modality that I have combined the East and the West, it's really a cutting edge. And I would say that it is unusual and it is unique. You can say that, oh, it might look like this, it might look like that, but it really has a different feel once you get into the understanding of what it can do for you. It's really a spiritual healing. That's what I could say about it. So
Beautiful. It sounds like it's when you were talking about it, what kept coming to mind is what I like to work with a lot is the three parts to us in this 3D of the body, the mind, and the soul, and how they're completely different. And what it sounds like is it's almost like the shedding of coming back to the soul that is within us and just the energy of light that we are. And oh, it sounds so powerful and beautiful. Would you mind being able to share a little bit of the process of how you created this book? Because you have the process of the infinite cosmic records and the sessions that you offer, but what drew you to creating the book, and what was the process of creating the book for you?
thank you. I created the book with the first chapter is about myself, my journey, my shamanic journey, how spirit comes through in my daily experience. And of course, I pick up the very sacred parts of my experience. And so, like, for example, I have, I have been a successful businesswoman in Ashland, Oregon. I used to own a boutique, as Rada would call it, a gallery, because I used to be an artist, a painter, and I have been well known in that area for keeping my iris blossom. That's the name of the store. And to move from a very successful business to the Appalachian Mountains was something that took place without me really making that choice. It's my ex-husband who brought me here. But then I realized that coming to this area brought me to understand my past life. And I was a native Indian who used to live in the Appalachian Mountains. And so I discovered that when I came here, I have visions of my parents, and these trees here are I live out on top of the mountains, and so it's pretty wild out here. There are snakes, there are bears, cougars, all kinds of stuff. But I love it here. And at the same time, it was a shock between my past, as a store owner and a gallery owner, to a place that's wild, on top of the mountains, where it's really wild here. And so to understand my past lives, I was brought here for that purpose, for that reason. And visions came to me where I would see Native American Indians come out of the trees by the hundreds. And it's very shocking because I've never experienced that before. But Don Pedro has been guiding me already through the process for quite some time. So I would always ask him, what does this mean, for me? And this is how he taught me how to actually go deep into the infinite cosmic records, because he would share how I could help my clients go through their own process, because they would see visions, and through this, they will awaken to their past lives, future lives, or any lives that they would like to see. So Infinite Cosmic Records has been developed through this process, and it's in my book. The process has been shared in this book. And then, of course, my client stories allow you to understand even deeper, how they were able to see their visions and how they come into being of experiencing infinite cosmic records.
So beautiful. I love that. And I love how you created the process, and then from that, a book was birthed through it. I will also apologize. There's somebody mowing their lawn in the back, so hopefully it will be finished in a few minutes. So if you can hear it, my apologies.
Don't worry.
Okay, good. My next question is, what was your experience working with Radha's Publishing House in the creation of this book?
It's incredible. I feel like this is an opportunity of a lifetime, because without her inspiring me to go deeper and allowing me to just hone in into my experience and really supporting me, inspiring me to get this book out, I don't think I would be able to do this on my own. And so Radha Publishing House and her team has really helped in really manifesting these books, and they're incredible. And I would say that they're the best. They really are. It's amazing. I love them.
I love that. I love them as well. There's such a beautiful process to it. And speaking of processes, for the creation of this book, I know in my own experience, when we were doing Poems from the Heart, we had like incubation sessions where we could get together as a group. Did you experience those one-on-one with Radha as well, where you had almost like sessions to help come up with the book? And if you did, how were those sessions?
Well, she spent time with me and how to lay out the book, and this is how it all came together. So she was very, very detailed in how the book would look like, developing the cover, the contents. I mean, she doesn't know everything about it, but what I'm saying is that, the overall vision, she's a visionary, and so her vision was was able to manifest through this book. So without her assistance, I don't think I will be able to even create a book, because her genius way of having to guide anyone through the process really is invaluable, I would say. I mean, I'm so pleased with her, even the cover of the book really, state and pictures, create 1,000 words, right? And so she made it happen, and I'm so pleased.
I love it. And I absolutely love the cover. Is it actually like on the print of the cover, is it gold looking? Because it looks like it's gold and it's reflecting outwards.
Yes, well, it's not gold, but it has, like gold lights almost. I mean, she worked with an artist that created this. This is my picture when my hair was very short. And so she pulled that out and said, this is the one that I would like to use. And I'm going to work with my artist to create, the cover for this book. So she chose, her art. She's really a good artist because she used to be a painter too, and she works with amazing artists. And this is how she portrays the book through her genius artistic ability.
Absolutely beautiful. And I love that it's you. I didn't even realize that it was you. That's so amazing.
I
Oh,
have long hair now, so you cannot really you can't really see the
I love
difference.
it. It shows the different phases and the different layers of you that have released over time to come to the Maya of who you are today.
Thank you.
And could you describe Radha's Publishing House in one word? And then if you'd like to elaborate on that word, you totally can.
Majestic. Majestic. Because it brings out, I would say, because she's beyond normal. I mean, I feel that her goal is to bring spirituality into the third dimension. And she herself is an intuitive being. You know, she's triple Pisces. So she's really connected to Neptune and really have a very strong sense of connecting the divine with the 3D realm. And so, you know, that's pretty special in itself, you know, to have a publisher that can connect, you know, through her intuitive knowledge and, you know, picking out subjects, you know, for a book. And she has many books that speaks volumes about what is she creating in this physical realm. She's on a mission. And so I call it majestic.
I love that. It's a majestic mission.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And I fully agree with you in that when I found out that Radha was a triple Pisces, I immediately went, oh, the intuition. And it makes sense why all of the books are so in line with spirituality too. And it's just such an amazing way to be able to bring it out. And the beauty is that she's not just doing it herself. Radha's also doing it with so many other light beings. So it's just bringing out so much more magic.
Yes, that's why I say she's majestic, because she's really great in networking with authors internationally, and she brings many voices into the table. That is really special, and it takes hard work to do that, you know. So I'm very blessed to be one of her author, and I'm grateful.
I feel you on that. And is there any last little tidbits of knowledge or nuggets of knowledge that you would like to offer our viewers?
I'd say that this is a very special time, in spite of how much chaos people may see outside in the external realm of their inner being. I feel that because we're in between timelines, this is actually, you know, a very special time where we can be more conscious, more aware, more centered, because of all the chaos. It's either you go with a flow of chaos or find your center and really truly believe that this is your time to clean up. The world needs to clean up. And if we don't do it now, when? You know? So what I feel is my hope is to really inspire light workers to come forward and to be bold enough to speak their truth, to share who they are, and enough of this hiding and being small, because truly, as a part of the cosmic light that there is, you know, we are a part of that. Our spark is needed now more than ever, and so it's our time, actually. And in order to step into that future, which is, you know, which is the most beautiful part of our creation, of God's creation. And when I talk about God, God is the one that created this great universe and multiverse. It's that energetic force that puts us here on this dimension and all other dimensions. And she is the one that created everything. And so this cosmic game that we are playing, that we are in right now, we are a part of this. We're not separate from this. We're actually the players of how we would like to see our future to be. So one master even stated that this is actually a very important time. It's a very special time, because We are in between timelines. We can create history. We can recreate our future. And a great master named Sri Sri Anandamurti says, the future is brighter than you can ever imagine. And so let's look into that. Let's think about this. Let's dwell upon what it meant. And as we can see, AI technology is coming into the picture. And more, anything is possible. I'm talking about the constructive AI, the positive AI, because duality is both dark and light. And so we have a choice. And I suggest we choose for the light, because there's more going on that direction for us than darkness. So I hope this helps.
Beautiful. I fully agree with you on that. Let's go with the light rather than the shadow and the dark, and accept the shadow as it's there, but we're moving with the light. Amazing. And then one last question before we finish off. What is something that you would like people to take out of your book or to receive from your book when they read it?
It really is about individual experience. More than anything else, the experience that was shared by various clients of mine is relatable to them, because we're multidimensional. So if they can relate even to one of the story that was set in place, they would benefit, because each story is unique, you know, and perspective comes in many forms. And so, you have a choice, and you can be inspired by these experiences that's written in this book.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming to connect with us today. Thank you for sharing all of your wisdom, for bringing up so much, basically for being a warrior of light.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you so much for having the bravery to create this book and to put it out into the universe. And for our viewers, please take the time to go check out Maya's book online. It's available on Amazon. And before we leave, where can our viewers find you, Maya?
They can find me. I have a website. It's www.mayadashaman.com.
Amazing. So thank you so much again. Thank you for sharing so much of your wisdom, your knowledge, and your ancestral wisdom with us. And to our viewers, thank you for your time. Please go check out the book and continue to support Radha's Publishing House. Have a beautiful rest of your day. We've got this.
Thank you.